Alright, so I've been wearing these shoes, these boots, these Broadwingers, pretty much every day for in March, April, May, so about 2 months I've been wearing these things. And I love them. Love them. Very flexible, as you can see. Lawnmower treads holding up. I got an issue. I got some separation here and at the front on this boot. I can cram some goop in there and clamp them. Things happening on the outside of this one as well. Might be able to see that. Other than that, no complaints. They seem like they might be a little wider than they need to be. But then again, I'm not wearing a super heavy sock, so it's fine. I'm not getting rubbing or blisters or anything. I've been doing a lot of hiking, walking, definitely working every day, all day in these things. I was speaking with Chris recently, and I'm going to have another pair of these made that won't have the exterior toe protecting. I did this for a couple reasons. A, to protect them, but B, to kind of stiffen up the toe so it doesn't collapse. I don't like the way the boots look when this folds down. So I'm going to have him do another pair of rough outs with a stiffener on the inside of the boot. And they're going to be a sand color, a much lighter color. And I'm going to have Chris I'm going to have him take this part inside the shoe here and have him bring that up to here and kind of create like a point and down and stitch that so this folds down nicer. So I just feel like this is a weak point eventually for the leather to want to tear. It'll be a long time before that happens, but I can see it happening. And then I just like a little bit more material above this eyelet here. I want it to be right now you got about 1/4 of an inch maybe here. I want it to be at least a 1/2 inch above that eyelet. So I like to run the laces around the top there. And I'll make my own kilties again. I might shorten this a hair, but it's fine. I'm liking them. They're doing the job. Love these shoes. Now here's the interesting thing. You may remember I did some videos where I was talking about how the Pro Keds had the widest toe box out of all the store-bought classic sneakers I could find. And I wore these walking in Venice last Saturday, and they don't fit anymore since wearing these shoes for 2 months. My feet and my toes have widened so much that these are super uncomfortable now, to the point, I can't wear them. And it's a bummer because I bought a bunch of these. I got 2 brand new pairs of these in the box I haven't even worn yet because I thought these were going to be my new thing. I ended up picking up a pair of Keens, which I did put them on. I just got them last night in the mail, and they do fit. And I put this flat Spenco insole in here, and I removed this. This is what comes with the Keens. And it does have a heel rise. So there's way more room inside this shoe now. I'm happy with these, but while these are about the most classic looking shoe I could find, they are not anything like this. So this is an appeal to other companies out there that make barefoot style shoes, like a wide toe box. And Keen, by the way, you could actually flatten this out a little bit more. There's no reason for you to have that point. I guess for those people with that creepy long toe there. But if any of you shoe companies are watching this that are making modern day barefoot shoes, zero rise, wide toe box, super flexible, thin sole, keeping in mind with these you have to take the insole out if you can. They are glued down, but when you first get them, you can sometimes get them out without ripping them. There is a little bit of a heel rise in that you rip off, and then you can put this back in. And if it doesn't work, then you can go with one of the green Spenco insoles. But please design a wide toe sneaker that resembles the classic like this. You don't have to go reinventing the wheel. This is a classic look that's been around forever. It's still fashionable. It's very similar to your Chuck Taylors. People are still rocking the Chuck Taylors. Converse. These are the Pro Keds, and this is your classic vibe. It would look better, in my opinion, if you widen this out, just kind of flatten that round out a little bit here, and it would be much, much nicer. And people like me could wear them then, and they'd be better for everybody, by the way. So I'm going to put a little insert in this video for Chris talking about this shoe and kind of how it's just, you know, my toe and the width of my foot in these shoes come in a little bit. You know, it seems like they maybe could be slightly narrower here. I don't know if it's the right thing to do. Chris has a system. I don't want to talk him into doing something that doesn't make sense that I'll regret. As it is, if he made me another pair of boots on the same last exactly like these with the new design, you know, without the toe covering here, I'm probably going to be fine with them. It just seems to me like there's a lot of extra room here just along this side here. We probably come in a solid 1/8 of an inch, you know, from this point, and I just tighten that up a little bit. Probably be fine. But hopefully Chris will see this, and just want to show off the lawnmower tire tread on here. This is going to wear for a very, very long time. Now look, this boot, I originally, before I started speaking with Chris and looking at the shoes he had, these are called Broadwingers, by the way. Chris Lehman makes them by hand, makes a last for your foot. He's got a whole specific way to measure them. You'll deal with him on video if you decide to get a pair made. Initially, I didn't know that I wanted this. I didn't know that I wanted this tread. But as I talked to him and I looked at his boots, he has a pair like this without the toe cap on it. In the chocolate brown rough out that look great. I probably would have been fine with those. I do like this. This has kind of a, you know, a bit of a dressy kind of look to it. Sorry about the helicopters. You know, it's Los Angeles. I can't do anything for more than 5 minutes without being bombarded with noise pollution, one way or another. Anyhow, as I was saying, you know, you can wear these with Levi's, they'll look cool, whatever. They are designed as work boots and as a hiker. Now, I've hiked in these, I've worked in them all day long, every day of the week, for weeks, and they're great. The only issue is if I'm standing on my feet all day and, you know, it could be a little bit of a pain in the bottom of your feet, I suppose. So the new pair we're going to have made are going to have, you know, the thick leather here, just like you see. And then they're going to have a layer of that foam. I forget what it's called. You see in all the work boots nowadays. I can never remember the name of it. Every time I talk to Chris, he's got to remind me. And then there's going to be, and that foam's probably going to be about the same thickness as this layer here that you see, this tread here. And then underneath that, there's going to be a Vibram sole, and it's all going to be tan color. So it'd be sand and tan. It'd be kind of monotone, the next pair. I was thinking about making a pair of kilties out of green, dyed leather green that I have, because I think that might look funky cool. But again, this is your 2-month review, at least 2 months. I think it's been more like 9 or 10 weeks now of wearing these. Every day I've worn shoes. This is what I've worn, except for last Saturday when I wore a pair of these Pro Keds, which did not work out. And I can't even wear these anymore. I got to give them away or throw them out. So it was a waste of money. So this is where it's at now. And again, I can use these. So I'll wear these for a while until I can find a new pair that has, hopefully, a classic look. That's what I'm really looking for. But you cannot go wrong with the Broadwingers. You just cannot go wrong with these things. Like this is bison hide, by the way. Give you a look on the inside here. That's a cork bed liner in there. He gave me a thinner piece for this, but he will provide me with a thicker piece when I get the new set made. I don't know if you can see, I can't see what you're seeing on the front of the camera here, but you can see the leather, the inside of the leather here. These are going to last me the rest of my life, I'm sure. And I'm not upset about this separation here because I know I can take care of that. I've done that before, and if I want to get the new boots made. If we do make them a little narrower and they're perfect, like I'm suspecting they will be, maybe I'll send these back to Chris because he could rework these. It wouldn't be I mean, it's work. I'd pay him for it. But he could rework these and kind of stitch them down a little bit tighter here, take a little off, and re-glue these if I need him to. But like I said, it's something any of us can do this. That's just, you know, get yourself some goop, cram it in there, get yourself a clamp, and just clamp down on that spring clamp, and you're golden. Wearing the heel nicely here like you want to do, a little bit on the front as well, so now they roll a lot easier when you're walking. When you first get them, they're obviously stiffer, and it takes a little bit of time to wear them in. And then I also notice when they're on, like the bottom of this, you can almost kind of see you can't really see it here, but you can kind of see the outline of my foot when they're on and how this part pushes down and this part's up more, because they're actually conforming to the shape You might be able to see it here. I can see it here as I'm looking at it. I don't know if that's showing up on camera, but this part is higher up, which would be down to you right now, and this part's flatter. And you can see the wear pattern, actually. This is wearing nicely all through here, and then this still looks like new here, right? This still looks like new. It's worn here, just like the bottom of your foot would be. You know, it's taking on that wear pattern. And I think that that's really neat. That just shows you how thin the sole is and how barefoot these shoes are. And again, I couldn't be happier. My feet are wider. I can actually now spread my toes and hold them wide in place. And I couldn't do that. And so this has been, like I said, a minimum 8 weeks. I think it's been closer to 10 weeks since I've had these now. So in 10 weeks, my feet are already doing better. As a matter of fact, about, I'd say 3 or 4 weeks into it, I was able to grab this toe and pull out on it and get that first giant metatarsal joint to pop. And I haven't been able to do that since 2011. So if you've got foot issues, you're trying to solve them, you want to go to barefoot shoes, and you need a boot, you just cannot go wrong with these Broadwinger boots made by Chris Lehman in the Pacific Northwest. I put the grommets in myself. The idea there is I could put a rope through it and hang these in the van outside or whatever if they're muddy, and keep them up off the ground and kind of secure. Yeah. I hope this is all showing up on camera. The tongue is a thing. You know, Chris says people don't know what to do with it. I tuck this side way down and try to keep it pretty flat. I don't mind folding this part over as I lace up. Yeah. Anyhow, hope you guys dig it. Chris, I hope you're seeing this and digging on it. I love them. They're super cool. And that's it. Have a great day. Be good to one another. Come back again. Just trying to help. All right, so this is mainly just a quick insert for Chris. Talking about the width of these, I got my toes spread as wide as I can make them, and if I lay my thumb on here, here we go. Yeah, edge of my toe is really more like right over here, and even the edge of my foot. The edge of my foot is right here where my finger is. If you were to look straight down on that, see there's an angle here, and so it does. Yeah, seems to me like these shoes are, you know, slightly wider than they absolutely need to be. But I'm fine with it. They don't, it's not like my foot is floating around in there or something. They're very comfortable, and it's as close to being barefoot as it possibly can be. You know, so I love them. I love them. I love them. Before I totally 100% sign off on this video, I just added the insert, and I want to add an addendum. You know, another ending. These are designed so that this whole part, everything here is what holds your foot in place in the shoe. So I've got no heel lift or anything in these things. So, you know, I've been guilty in the past of overthinking things and making design changes that ended up being wrong. So, Chris, I'm not telling you necessarily to do this. We'll discuss that at length on the phone after you watch this. It might be better that there's a little, just a tiny bit extra room there because I've got all that extra room. It really does feel like you're walking around with nothing on your feet. I wear boxer shorts, so it already feels like I'm not wearing anything else. You know what I'm saying? Especially with these shorts I wear. And if I don't want to wear anything, I just go to a hot spring for 5 weeks. But 5 weeks, 5 days. Next time I go to the hot springs, it's going to be 2 weeks. But anyhow, yeah. So it's probably not a big deal at all. I don't want to get you to the wrong idea. I just watched that little insert section. I'm about to stitch this together in the video and post it. I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. There's nothing wrong. They're probably perfect, and it might be that everybody else who has Broadwingers are experiencing the same thing, and they're happy with it. This is my first pair of, custom made, handmade, custom designed for my foot, barefoot shoes. So it's new to me. And like I said, based on how things have been working out, the results from it with my feet, I couldn't be happier. So maybe this falls into the category of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.